this thing. Oh, yay. Hello.
Hello.
South Dade Senior High. Woo! Thank you for the opportunity to provide Start with Hello. Thank you, Principal Perez, for your warm Buccaneer welcome. Very excited today to bring to you some information about Start with Hello. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Connie Fisher, training specialist, working with individuals that have been abused and neglected. I'm providing this training today by Sandy Hook Promise. Is anybody familiar with Sandy Hook Elementary? Show of hands. Okay. Sandy Hook Elementary, a few of you may not be aware, was actually established a few years ago as a result of some violence experienced by families. And they started this program, Start with Hello, in response to that, because they wanted other individuals not to suffer through the violence that their families had. Shooter claimed the lives of 20 first graders and 6 educators. And so the focus of Sandy Hook Elementary, Sandy Hook Promise and Start with Hello is to empower youth, much as yourself, to be able to prevent violence and keep not only yourself safe, but those around you. Okay? And so we have some guidelines for our training, our presentation today. And so we also have some volunteer school panel that have graciously offered to help me out. And so what I'll do is I'll have our school panel, if you could come up here and sit on the front, if you would. Awesome. And we'll take just a moment for our school panel to introduce themselves.
My name is LeBron.
LeBron,
Yeah.
Thank you for helping out today.
My name is Dwayne Wade
Dwayne?
Jr.
Dwayne Wade Jr., thank you so much for helping out today.
I'm Alex.
Alex, great.
I'm Erin.
Aaron, terrific. Thank you for helping out.
I'm LaShonda and sometimes Principal Perez.
Absolutely, many roles. All right. Thank you so much for agreeing to help out. And so they're going to help out with some questions and answers and some activities that we have planned a little bit later on. So thank you for that. We will also, this is also an interactive presentation, so I'll be asking for everyone's help sometime throughout the presentation. And so we'll have some, not only some activities, maybe some side conversations, but when we have those side conversations, I will ask that in order to come back for those side conversations, we'll have a countdown. And we'll do this like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I'll ask that you bring back from those side conversations. Are we clear on that? Thumbs up if we're clear on that? Great, thank you. All right, so today, the goal of today is to take a look at having a more closely connected community. As I said earlier, when we started with hello, that we want to empower you to create this sense of community and connectedness, and only you can create this. What I'd like you to do, I know this says to raise your hands, but instead of raising your hands, I'd like everyone to close your eyes now. And think about the words as I read these off. And think about those feelings. And if you've ever felt any of these. Lonely, passed over, excluded, isolated, left out, shut out. Open your eyes. Many of us, unfortunately, have experienced some of these feelings. And in fact, many of us not only have experienced some of these feelings on a day-to-day basis, but millions of us have experienced this every day, for weeks, months even. And as a result of these feelings of isolation, it can result in folks being bullied, being victims of violence, or even result in depression, which can lead to, unfortunately, a lot of individuals pulling away from society. Okay, sorry. Thank you. Okay, so they can pull away from society, and we'll see if we can get some help to assist with this. Principal Perez, would you mind if you can send someone to assist with this? So they can have some feelings of isolation and pulling away from others, and some real issues.
It's not working right now. It's not working yet.
It's not. We're working on it. Okay, great. Thank you so much. So this can lead to a lot of problems. Okay, and I'll ask our panel now to help out with an activity that we have. There's a lot of different things that we can do as a result to have this sense of connection. And it's a 3-step process. And so what we'll do together is we'll see someone that is isolated. Okay, so say it with me. See someone that's isolated. We're going to reach out and connect. Say it with me now. Reach out and connect. And we're going to start with what we started with this morning. Hello. Hello. All right, so those 3 simple words can do so much, and you can do this. Okay? Is it going to be out throughout the whole? All right, we've still got some folks that's working on this. Okay, so, and how can we do this? Well, there's some things that we can do in order to create that sense of community and connectedness. Okay, so as you see here, we have some connections here with our student panel. Okay, and so Andre, you'll notice he has a nice little name tag on, and he has his little connected caterpillar, as to the rest of our student panel. So you can have something like a heyday where you introduce yourself by saying, hey Andre, I noticed your connected ID there, so that's really awesome. It's really nice to see you. And let's talk a little bit more about that connection that we have. Okay, it looks like we may be getting it working. All right. Thank you. And we'll skip through a few of these because, as I mentioned, only you can create that connectedness, and we want to empower you to do that. And we've already gone over our 3 steps. Wow, we're really far advanced there. So let's go through them again. How about that? We've got the pictures up here now. So what do? See someone isolated. See someone that's isolated. And what's this mean? Reach out and connect, absolutely. And the third one, let's see if you remember. Start with hello. Absolutely. Great job, team. Okay, so how do we recognize someone is isolated? Here's some hints. Possibly the person prefers to be alone. Maybe the person's outside of our group. The person could be anxious or uncomfortable. Well, you know, I was a little anxious or uncomfortable just now when this thing wasn't working properly. It could happen to anyone, right? So it is possible to have some signs and symptoms to show up, you know, even when things happen. Sometimes folks are shy and naturally shy, and so they're not going to be connected. There's going to be days that we all have bad days, but you know, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the person that's always sitting by themselves. And so we want to recognize some of those signs and symptoms, and that's when we see that person isolated. Okay? All right, so where are some other places? Let's check in with our panel now. Where might we see someone that is isolated? Andre, yes, thank you.
On the school bus.
Absolutely, a great example. Anyone else on our panel would like to share? Alex, thank you.
Maybe they only have like 10 followers on Twitter.
Absolutely. It's very likely, right. And being excluded or not included, that's definitely a good sign there that someone may be feeling isolated. And we can change that, right? Because now you know, and now you have the power to do that, to reach out and connect. All right, great. So something else to bring up is that someone can feel that isolation even when they're surrounded by others. For example, you could be in a party, you know, lots of friends, surrounded by numerous people, and still feel that isolation. Okay, are there other places that you might be that you might feel that isolation? Panel?
In the locker room.
In the locker room, absolutely. Lots of people around in a sporting event, absolutely. Thank you for sharing. Okay, reach out and connect. And so here's some ways that you can do that. What do I do when I do reach out? Well, some folks feel very uncomfortable about reaching out. What might help with that? Panel?
Talking to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Reaching out and connecting, that might help with that.
Get one of your friends to reach out with you.
Absolutely. That's a great idea. So you're not doing that on your own. Absolutely, Alex.
Maybe you don't have to talk to them right away. You can just kind of like start with something that's not like having a conversation right off the bat.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sometimes you can just go, and your presence is enough to help that person when they are feeling isolated. So great job, team. Okay, so there are some reasons why maybe we may not reach out. And what might be those reasons why we may not reach out? Panel?
It seems awkward.
Yeah, it could seem awkward. Yes.
I don't know what to say.
Yes, not really sure what to say. Absolutely. Yeah.
Kind of intimidating to talk to a new person. They might not like me.
Yeah, absolutely. There are some concerns. But do those things that we have already talked about, do those kind of overcome those? Or can they? When you think about all those good reasons for why we can reach out or how we can reach out? Absolutely. And we'll talk some more about those later on in the program. So here's the good news. There are some tips, some practices, and some activities, and we're going to get into those right now. It's going to help us do that reach out and connect part. Okay, so Alex, actually, you hit on this one earlier. Going and sitting next to someone that may feel isolated. Great job with that. Maybe reaching out on social media. Just a wave when someone's going down the hallway. Definitely a great way of reaching out. Hey, guess what? Our panel also has a few handwritten notes, right? Can you show your handwritten notes? Yes, absolutely. Nice little thank you from us for helping out today. So thanks. All right. So that's just to touch on a few of those we have. Also, there's some things that your school can do as well. And so, for example, you could have a no one eats alone day where everyone comes to your table and joins you. You can have a hey day as an example. We were talked about that earlier where we have our little name tags on so everyone knows who our panel is now, right? Or you can have something like a scavenger hunt, and we have an example of that. Okay, would you mind? There you go. Hold those for me if you don't mind. Okay, so for example, our team here beforehand just wrote a few things that was really important to them. For example, one of our team likes to ride horses, and they have 2 cats, and they part-time bartender. Imagine that at their age. Another of our panel shared that they love baking, they love houday, and they have 5 kids. Wow, you really started young. Well, guess what? We can use this. Thank you so much. And I'm going to ask you to hold that for me. Would you mind holding that for me? Sure. So, thank you. You are a helper. All right, so we can use those connections we've just found out. So guess what? So Aaron and Alex love cats. So we've made a nice little connection there with Aaron and Alex. And guess what? Connie and Aaron both love to cook and bake. So you know what? We've made another connection. It's endless. You could start, just at your school, in your classroom, and you can go throughout the community making your connections. Would you mind? Nope. Thank you. Got my little helpers there. Thank you. You guys are awesome. You can also bring something that's important to you and share that with someone else. For example, I have brought along something that's important to me today. Whoa, look at there. An Eiffel Tower watch. Imagine that. Well, that's very important to me because it's a special place that my husband and I visited together. Not only reminds me of my past, but also my future adventures together. So, and our team, you'll notice, have brought along some things that are important to them. So I challenge you to actually get with them later and connect to find out why these things are important to them as well. Thank you.